Hi guys, I don't post videos on YouTube very much, but this particular and very heartbreaking case kept running in my head. I've gone through the details and spotted a few points. I wanted to post this in order to help people who are investigating the case voluntarily. I will address and solve the two mysteries about the case in this video. This video is more for who already know about the case, rather than the people who just heard about it. If you are new, it might be ideal to watch and read about the case before watching this video. I will drop a video link within the comments, which is the first ever video I watched about the case. It might be a good start point. Then the next destination must be Scarlet's blog. Scarlet did an amazing job of putting data together. She has translated documents, videos from Panama, from Netherlands, from Spanish to English, Dutch to English. I will also give the link under the comment section. Speaking of Scarlet, I would like to read something from her blog that I really liked. It says, some people have used more than just a little of my work for their own publications, without as much as a source mentioning. Don't be such a douche and give about a shout or source mentioning. So same applies here. As I will be mentioning things those have not mentioned before, please don't be a douchebag and mention your source, even if you're adding a new idea based on an idea. Let me give a very brief and quick summary about the disappearance of Kris and Lisanne in Panama. Kris and Lisanne are Dutch students who went to Panama for learning Spanish and doing voluntary work in children's school. On Tuesday, April the 1st, they started to hike on El Pianista Trail. They looked cheerful at the beginning of the photos, and they seemed to reach the summit. These photos found in Lisanne's Canon camera, which was in her backpack that found about a month after the disappearance. Their bones found shortly after the bags, and the Panamanian authorities closed the case as an accident. This didn't satisfy the most people, especially considering the one particular image removed from the camera, and it removed by the computer aid, with the computer help. As I mentioned, you can watch the video I posted in comments for a detailed information, and there are so many contradictions and mysteries in this case. I will start with addressing the two of them in this video. So let's start with the first one. Mystery 1. What time did they start to hike? Canon camera time displays the hike start time around 11 a.m. in the morning. By looking into their first photo and sunlight angles, that seems correct. They seem to arrive to summit in about 2 hours at 1 p.m. However, on the other hand, taxi driver who dropped them to the trail says he picked them around 1:45 p.m. and dropped them just before 2 p.m. There are also some eyewitnesses who mentioned about seeing them returned or seeing them at the start of the Pianista trial at around 4 p.m. as well. This is the first mystery of many. After making a careful analysis, I have the answer for this. Let's solve the first mystery on our way first. So, reality is they went to Pianista Trail both on 31st of March and 1st of April. Because everyone is so much focused on 1st of April, this is missed. Although, in my opinion, this is quite obvious. And it is supported by 7 eyewitnesses. Let's have a look at the timeline for 31st of March, Monday. Then we will watch the eyewitnesses together and it will become clear, I believe. This is the timeline for 31st of March, as Scarlet put through in her blog, which she gives a reference to a Dutch forum organization. Early in the morning, I think we can guess easily that this must be around 8 o'clock, just before the school started. They went to children's school or a children's school for voluntary work, and they were told that they are unexpected and there is no work for them. Then they headed to Spanish school, and we can also guess this around 8:30, shortly after. And they spent some time there to rearrange the work. They were spotted in Alto Boteke taking a cab 11 a.m., 11 in the morning. And Alto Boteke is just 10 minutes drive away from the Boteke and their school. The distances are quite short as it's a small town. For example, from their school to Pianista Trail is just 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the traffic. They were spotted in Boteke Center, heading to supermarket Romero, and they also connected to restaurant, the internet in the restaurant. So we can say it was, they were in Boteke Center between 11:30 and 1:30, 1:45. And the next information we have is at 4:40, their phone connected to internet and in their school. So they spent, less than an hour connecting to internet. They search for El Pianista Trail, TripAdvisor, and etc. By 6 o'clock, they went to a massage therapy session. They arranged this and they remained there. Then later on, they arrived at their home and spent some time with the host. If you ever look at the time gap between the restaurant and school, you will notice that it is perfectly fitting with eyewitnesses, including the taxi driver. Taxi driver said he picked the girls after 1:40 and so must have dropped around 1:50. Taxi driver drops them at the conjunction point of El Pianista and Pedro de Alto Lino trails. So there are 2 trails very close by. Both of those 2 trails are around, within the 1 kilometer, like 10 minutes walk away from your drop-off point. They head into the Pedro de Alto Lino trail first. I don't think it's on purpose. They were probably trying to find the El Pianista because they asked for Pianista Trail to a few people in there. They do short walk on Alto Lino Trail. All testimonials mention that. Finally, a lady witness says she saw them getting into a car shortly after 4 p.m. Then they arrived to their Spanish school around, which is around like 200 meters away from their home. It's a very short walk. They connect to internet at 4:40 p.m. afternoon, and they stay there until around 3:30, so less than an hour. They made internet searches on Pianista Trail. They also, visit TripAdvisor, etc. Let's watch the video together. This is the Panamanian TV news. I'm not sure when this is exactly shown, but we can understand they still hope for finding Kris and Lisanne. And this is surely after that sniffing dogs came. I can guess it is mid-April. So it already passed about 1 to 2 weeks, maybe even more, after their disappearance. And by this point, the photos are not available. So the video I'm going to open is available on Scarlet's YouTube channel playlist. She's given subtitles in English. I speak some level of Spanish myself, and translation is highly accurate. It even covers the parts that I didn't understand as well. Okay, let's go into the video.
Soy el sendero, el pianista, mudo testigo de la desaparición de Kris y Lisanne, jóvenes holandesas de visita en Panamá. ¿Trata con fines sexuales, privadas de libertad o en manos de la mafia? Dos familias con grandes interrogantes, dos países con grandes esperanzas. Julia Elena Alvear nos presenta El misterio de las holandesas.
Lugar, Sendero el Pianista. Hora, entre las 3:30 y 4 de la tarde. Los hechos, dos jóvenes...
Okay, Scarlet put a comment in parentheses saying that is inaccurate, mentioning girls highly likely started at 11 a.m. However, I think this is correct, and girls were there just before 4 p.m. But it is the day before. It's not the 1st of April, it's 31st of March.
holandesas identificadas como Lisanne Froon y Kris Kramer ingresan al Sendero el Pianista. 6 testigos que estaban en el área las vieron pasar. Uno de ellos afirma que eran las 4 de la tarde cuando observó que estaban en medio del sendero tomándose fotos. Solo se sabe que subieron, iban solas. Ese día en Boquete el tiempo estaba lluvioso. Anocheció temprano y más nadie las vio salir. Esta es la historia de las holandesas desaparecidas. Expedientes Nets investigó el recorrido de Lisanne y Kris ese lunes. La mañana había estado soleada y cerca del mediodía, el primer registro de su presencia se da en el sendero de Alto Lino. Aproximadamente eran las 2 de la tarde, cuando el dueño de la casa de Pedro las ve. El testigo que prefirió hablar fuera de cámara nos contó que las vio llegar y le preguntaron si ese era el sendero del pianista, pero él les contestó que no, que era el sendero Piedra de Lino y que este era muy bonito porque se podía ver Boquete entero. Las chicas, refiere el testigo, ingresaron al sendero de Piedra de Lino y como 15 minutos después las vio bajar, por lo que les preguntó si habían subido y dijeron que sí, pero el testigo reitera que sabía que éstas no habían llegado a la cima porque hacerlo tomaba más de 40.
I would like to mention something here. They are in general precautious. Of course they are young and up to an adventure anytime. However, they return from Altalino without completing it. Also shows that so they are precautious. Let's continue.
45 minutos. En el lugar de los hechos, Expedientes Nets pudo constatar que hay un letrero que tiene el nombre de los dos senderos, el Pianista y Sendero de Lino, y que es usual que algunos taxistas y turistas se confundan, por lo que no es difícil asumir que las chicas fueron dejadas allí al principio, pensando que este era el sendero que querían visitar. Otro testigo que las ve estaba en la tienda Nelita. Eran las 3:30 y cuenta que una de las chicas se veía enferma.
This is another point I would like to highlight. This shop owner, Maso Singrit, and their host Miriam, they all mentioned Lisanne was feeling and looking sick. So we understand it was quite noticeable. I think she slightly, maybe even quite a bit recovered on the on 1st of April, after having a sleep.
Me encontraba aquí en esta tiendita atendiendo a los clientes, pero en el momento yo estaba, eran como las 2:30, 3 de la tarde cuando las muchachas bajaron, sí. Pero una sí bajó, la más gordita que iba en una licra negra. Y la...
I'd like to stop here to highlight another point. Chunky's goal must be Lisanne, as she was 184.61. However, Lisanne wears a black short on 1st of April pictures. This guy says it was a lycra. So this looks more like a lycra to me. So, as a man, I'm not very much aware of the materials and not easy to distinguish for me. But I wouldn't classify this short as lycra.
La otra la alcancé a ver, pero cuando iba allá abajo, porque la otra iba por este lado. Pero no pudo, se fue por allá porque como la piedra era suelta, la muchacha se fue de largo y allá en la vuelta fue que se logró ver nada más. Sí, lo que sí que la que iba aquí iba bien agobiada, bien estropeada, parece de caminar mucho. Y sí, contenta sí, pero de ahí no le puedo decir si las muchachas bajaron hasta el pueblo, se devolvieron en un taxi. Si bajaron en taxi, no sé, pero yo hasta la vuelta la alcancé a ver.
Madera y alambres por el que tuvieron que cruzar. En ese camino, Martina de la etnia Nove arreglaba sus plantas cuando la saludaron.
Yo trabajo en esto sembrando plantas y yo estaba aquí cuando la chica pasó.
¿Cómo sabes que eran las dos?
Bueno, porque andaban dos muchachas juntas, se fue. Entonces cuando entre 3 días viene el guía que es Feliciano González, viene, me pregunta y me trae el foto, ahí donde que me di cuenta que era ella lo que había yo visto.
¿Y qué te acuerdas de ella? ¿Qué fue lo que viste de ella?
Bueno, como yo estaba aquí, yo no reparo la persona, bueno, solamente veo la cara porque ella pasó y me dijo, no es eso.
¿Te saludaron?
Sí, sí. Y entonces no reparé más, no reparo porque este es un sendero de los turismos.
¿Iban solas?
Solo, sí.
¿Viste entrar algún carro o algo?
Bueno, eso sí.
This lady confirms that she saw getting them into a car. If they get to the car around 4:20 p.m., they will be at the school by 4:30, 4:40, which is the time they connected to internet. Perhaps they got confused with alto and pianista trials and wanted to make sure to get all the details and get back there again. I mentioned before, but the school is only within a short distance from their home.
No.
Pero es que para estas chicas,
Ahí yo las vi cruzando, como a las 4 y alguito de la tarde. Si yo hubiese sabido que ellas me iban a entender, yo hubiera bajado y le digo que no subieran porque era demasiado tarde para ellas. El día estaba opaco y se iba a oscurecer temprano. Así que, pero ellas no me iban a entender porque yo no sé hablar inglés y ellas no sabían hablar inglés.
que cuando las vio usted, ¿en qué pensó?
Que era demasiado tarde y que eran 2 niñas que iban solitas para la montaña y que iba a oscurecer más rápido que en otras ocasiones porque el día estaba feo, traviado.
¿Algo más que usted viera y que le llamara la atención?
Me llamó la atención que llevaban un pantaloncito corto, que iban para la montaña, que hacía frío.
Here, the lady mentions one of the girls were wearing a very short pants. This is trouser for Britons, as pants are underwear in England. I know it is a relative thing, but I wouldn't classify neither of girls very short. Short for sure, but not very short. However, I would classify this photo sort of like getting to very short. So again, this is not the strongest point, but I think we don't have pictures from the 31st of March, but possibly Kris was wearing something like this.
Lorenzo es guía de turismo y conoce todos los senderos de Boquete. Fue el último testigo que las vio.
Bueno, yo vi dos mujeres, dos personajes así como...
This is another tour guide who mentioned he saw the girls on Pianista Trail from distance. The confusion came here for me because I don't think girls climbed on 31st, but returned back. Then I noticed while all the others from Altalino Trail are mentioning their witnesses from 31st, this guy was actually talking on 1st of April. I remember this is like the couple of weeks after the incident. We don't have any photos, so I think this guy is referring the 1st of April. Because also, you know, in some other part I've seen, read something, he mentions he saw them around the midday. So that's fitting more to the 1st of April.
Como dos mujeres, pues, pero yo estaba muy lejos de donde estaba.
Y cuando usted las vio, ¿ellas hacia dónde iban?
Bueno, llevan casi de espalda hacia allá, hacia arriba.
Tell me, baby.
Orilla de sus vidas.
Of all of these people showing us the solidarity in missing our daughter Kris and her friends Lisanne.
Estamos muy emocionados por ver esa solidaridad del pueblo de Boquete con nuestras hijas Kris y Lisanne.
En la siguiente entrega de Expedientes Nets tenemos para ustedes las hipótesis que se manejan en esta investigación y búsqueda de las holandesas desaparecidas.
So, 2 p.m. and 4:25, they walked around Pedro de Altolino and tried to investigate the way to El Pianista. 4:30, they took a cab or someone gave them a lift. I am not so sure about this. And by 4:40, they arrived at school and connected to internet, make their research on El Pianista, and they remained there less than an hour. Let's move to the mystery 2 now. Deleted photo 509. This one I will only speculate, though I believe very highly likely the chances what I'm going to say about it. One of the photos was deleted from Canon camera. It's the photo 509. And moreover, it is deleted with the composite because it's not recoverable. In addition, it is deleted after 510, because if the photo 509 was deleted right after it is taken, the new photo numeration would start from the 509. So here's my outcome on what happened to 509. Lisanne and Kris continued to take photos, perhaps 10 and 15 more. So there were photos. Someone deleted the photos until 509, probably due to revealing him or themselves in the photo. They took nighttime photos and all the photos are overwritten. Then he probably noticed the photo 509 was also possibly revealing something. Probably more subtle, it's not the obvious like the other deleted photos, but this was also giving a subtle hint. Maybe revealing location with small details or something else. Then he deleted the 509. However, he had already taken nighttime photos. So it was already 8th of April and with the media coverage and all the media coverage and everything was going on, there was no time to delete all the photos back to 508 and retake them. So instead, deleted the 509. So deleting 509 from computer shows his or one of theirs family with the crime and evidences. This is all for now. I still try to visualize and make the connections on what happened on 1st and 2nd of April. I have a few views. However, it will be best to explain after an analysis with all the data I can find. I'm still looking into case, so there are some ideas in my mind as well, but I don't want to go further on that yet. One thing I can say is, as far as I see, most people consider tour guide Feliciano as the most likely capturer. I am not so sure about it. To be honest, I don't feel it in that way. I think he might have taken place in the cover-up, but I didn't go through all the details for the 1st of April and beyond. Maybe my mind can change. Thank you for watching. I give Lisanne's and Kris's family, their beloved friends, all my respect. This is the most heartbreaking story, that impacted me in recent years. I will update if I find some more details, specifically on 1st of April and beyond. Thank you.